The hospital is due to release a statement about
her condition, and we can cross now live to our correspondent, Will Parker, who's in
Athens. Will, what more can you tell us?
Francis, yes, I'm here at the Asclepios Hospital in Athens, and what we're being told here tonight is that the head of the surgical team treating the 59-year-old woman at the centre of this unfolding drama, Dr. Apostolonopoulos, will come out of that door you could see behind me, down the ramp in front of it, and then make a statement to the waiting media any moment now.
And do we know what he's likely to say in that bulletin?
Well, Francis, not at this stage, no. And indeed, it may well be that we won't know what he's going to say until he's saying it.
And Will, when you say that at the moment we don't know what he's going to say, what is it exactly that we don't know?
Well, at the moment, we don't know the woman's name, and we don't know the precise details of the symptoms she's suffering from. In fact, Francis, I have to say that at this stage, we don't even know whether Dr. Apostolonopoulos is a man or indeed a woman.
And Will, in the way that these things tend to play out, is it significant that we don't know these details?
Well, Francis, that's a very good question. It may indeed be highly significant that the Greek authorities did not release those details, particularly if when we do know them, they do indeed confirm what many people here are already reading into the fact that they haven't been released. On the other hand, the fact that we don't know those details may not be significant at all, and indeed it may be precisely because...
Richard Harbinger there in central London. Richard, thank you.
Dick, thanks. And we can go back live now to Athens and to our correspondent, Will Parker, who's
there. Will, what's the latest you can tell us?
Well, the latest here, Francis, is that we're still waiting for Dr. Apostolonopoulos, head of the surgical team treating the 59-year-old woman at the centre of this deepening crisis, to make his or her way down this ramp you can see behind me and to issue a statement.
And presumably the reason for that is that there's been a delay of some kind.
Well, I have to say that's very much the feeling here, Francis. Now, of course, delays come in many shapes and sizes, and what we don't know in this case...
We really are looking at a situation where whole swathes of the population of a country like Great Britain could simply be wiped out. The much talked about tomato time bomb.
Very much a waiting game now, Francis, although exactly what the rules of that game are, who's playing it, and where the missing pieces are, it's impossible to...
Now, as we were hearing from Richard and Katie earlier, the world is bracing itself tonight for a possible outbreak of tomato flu.
What I can tell you, Francis, is that a few moments ago a woman wearing glasses went in through that door you could just see behind me. But so far she hasn't come back out. Now, who that woman was, where she was going, or why she was wearing glasses, we just can't say at this...
8205, Tesco Fly Under, looking okay.
Unanswered as the seconds tick away here behind me.
Without wishing to speculate, of course, Will, what's your sense of what some people are saying there in Athens tonight about what could be unfolding in that hospital?
Well, of course, the Greeks are a pretty phlegmatic lot at times like this, Francis. I spoke to one old man earlier in a cafe who didn't even bother to reply.
It's up there in Cumbria.
And indeed, it's never over until the fat lady sings. But of course, in this case, we still don't know whether Dr. Apostolopoulos is indeed a lady, and if she is a lady, whether or not she is fat. I certainly think it's unlikely she's going to sing.
That at just 9 years old, David McIntosh could become Britain's youngest ever mum. In a statement...
Yes, indeed, Francis, there is indeed something happening here. Yes, this looks very much like the announcement we've been promised. This is it, I think. Here he comes now, just coming, as you can see, out onto the ramp here behind me here. So at least we now know that he is a he. So this then, at last, is Dr. Apostolopoulos.
Now we seem to have lost Will Parker there in Athens for the moment. Yes, we have lost him. Obviously, we'll go back to Athens as soon as we can.